Hello students, this is Chandrasekhar, social science teacher, BGS Public School, Shidlagatta. Dear students, in the last session, we are all gathered in detail information about the chapter first of political science, the problems of India and their solutions, class 10. Dear students, in this session, we have to start another one important and fresh lesson, so that is Indian foreign policy. Indian foreign policy. So that is also we should consider for foreign policy of India, chapter 2, political science, class 10. Main, what is the meaning of foreign policy? Foreign policy. So the behavior between the countries, the behavior between the countries. So here the foreign policy is very essential each and every one country of the world. The foreign policy is very essential each and every one country of the world. So in this chapter we have to learn some of the following aspects, like mainly the first one, nature of Indian foreign policy. So nature is nothing but the essential qualities of India's foreign policy. Essential qualities, otherwise the very important characteristics of India's foreign policy. Principles of Panchashila. Principles of Panchashila means the 5 principles signed between India and China. The 5 principles are signed between India and China. So that we have to learn in this lesson. Next, non-alignment policy. Non-alignment policy means after the completion of Second World War, the total world divided into 2 important powerful blocs. So one is USA, another one is America. So on that time, India maintained a non-alignment policy, equal distance between these 2 countries. India not against America also, even India not against Russia also. So India maintained the relationship with USA, with America equally. So that non-alignment policy. Disarmament, it means reducing of the arms, weapons. Reducing of the arms or weapons. So that is also we have to learn in this lesson, disarmament. Then apartheid policy. Apartheid, it is nothing but, dear students, racial discrimination, especially in South Africa, based on the color, based on the skin. The white people doing domination upon the black color people. Here majority of the, got it? And here 2 words are playing very important role, majority and minority. So minority of the white color people, they are doing domination of the majority of the black color people. So that is the apartheid policy. So in this lesson we have to learn the following aspects, like nature of Indian foreign policy, principles of Panchashila, non-alignment policy, disarmament and apartheid policy. So dear students, we have to think ourselves first. It is possible to live alone on this earth. Is it possible? Highly impossible. It is highly impossible. Alone, we no need to lead a life alone. So it is possible to live alone on this earth. It is highly impossible. So look at the pictures. Look at the picture showing alone. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬಂಟಿಗರಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೋಲೋಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈಲಿ ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಲೀಡ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್. Then can you say how can mingle with everyone? Then how we can mingle with others. So look at the pictures. While doing business, we can mingle with others. While studying, we can mingle with others. While playing, we can mingle with others. Got it? Whether there is a discussion, we can mingle with others. So there is combined together. So there is combined together. And dear students, mainly here see, the farmer has a necessity of somebody. The farmer has a necessity of somebody. It means here the farmer also highly impossible to lead the life without depending. Without depending. So the farmer has a necessity of somebody. So as it is like, does a trader has a necessity of somebody? So here the trader also highly impossible to lead a life alone. Here the trader also depending upon somebody. It means one person must and should depending upon for another person. Got it? Dear students, look at the picture. Got it? So the first one farmer and second one is a trader. Here farmer depending upon the trader and the trader depending upon the farmer. Farmer depending upon the trader, trader depending upon the farmer. Here, whose necessity does a rich man has? Then rich man also need some of the important persons. So here farmer depending upon the trader, trader depending upon the farmer. Then whose necessity does a rich man need? Whose necessity does a rich man has? Look at the picture, one of the important rich, the greatest industrialist. What it? He also needs some of the important persons. So such a persons we have to see here. Everybody is dependent on each other to fulfill their necessities. So each and every one person of the earth, each and every one person of the earth to fulfill their necessities purpose. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರ ಆಸೆ ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆಗಳನ್ನು ಈಡೇರಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ 100% ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. Everybody is dependent but not for independent. Everybody is dependent on each other to fulfill their necessities. Fulfill their necessities and essential wants. So example, farmer has to sell the goods he has grown. Farmer, while growing his crops and his crops, he sell to someone. So such a person, trader. So here, trader has to sell his goods. Trader has sell his goods to consumers. Got it? So here, an entrepreneur needs employees. So industrialist, one of the important greatest businessman. Anybody, they need employees. So like rich people need workers. Too much of rich persons need a workers. So dear students, in this way, each person has a necessity of one or the other person. So this words indicates about highly impossible. We have to lead a life without depending. Without depending. So we have to lead a life always depending upon others. So like here, farmer depending upon the trader, trader depending upon the consumer. What it? Entrepreneur depending upon the employees, rich person depending upon the workers. So like, why this depending on is very very important means because fulfill their certain needs. So this was the reason purpose. One person always depending upon the another person. So look at the pictures, dear students. What it? Highly impossible. Solely we have to do for the business. We can depending upon others and 100% possible to carry for the business. And dear students, in this way, can a alone without having any connections with other countries. So this is also highly impossible without communication of other countries, without interacting of other countries, highly impossible to do for the administration. Highly impossible to do for the administration. Then what we have to do? Just think. Would it? Then tell me which are the situations that leads for a country to have relationship with other nations. At what type of situations one country maintaining relationship with other countries? ಗೊತ್ತು ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದೇಶದ ಜೊತೆ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸುತ್ತೆ? ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್, to get the food items we need, so we need some food items. Got it? For example, all the types of food items India not growing, few food items are growing and few are not. It means few are sufficient and few are insufficient. Got it? Sufficient food items we can export, insufficient food items we can import. So in this time one country depending upon for another country. Then to sell the excess of goods we produce, excess, extra, more than is needed. Extra means more than is needed. So on that time, for example, India is producing more rice, so the excess of rice, so that situation needed rice we can keep ourselves in our Indian country, and then excess of rice we can export into another country. So on that time, in that situation, one country depending upon for another country. Then another one, to solve the problem of border disputes. So India is one of the important and major country in the world. So surrounding of India, few neighboring countries are there: Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, China, Sri Lanka. So these are all the neighboring countries. These are the neighboring countries. Between few countries there is a water border, and between few countries there is a land border. Got it? So is there land border? We can solve the land border problems purpose. One country always depending upon for another country. So as it is like river water disputes. For example, I have to say about our Karnataka. So in the place of Talakaveri, Kaveri river originated or takes for the birth, and that river put it throughout the Karnataka, then flow to Tamil Nadu also. Got it? So majority of the times river Kaveri water purpose clashes are there between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So as it is like here, between the countries also arising for river water problems. So we can solve such a problem means dependency, communication, interaction is very very important and very very essential. So if we are friendly with other nations, we won't be having the fear of insecurity. So we can maintain a good relationship, good friendship with other countries means we can lead a life without fear. Without fear. In case we can maintain enmity. Got it? What about that? Dvesha, enmity ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we highly impossible to lead a life. Got it? So that is why we can maintain a foreign policy in this certain situation. So such a situations are to get the food items we need, to sell the excess of goods we produce, to solve the problem of border disputes, to solve river water disputes. So and another one important, if we are friendly with other nations, we won't be having the fear of insecurity. So dear students, this was the reason purpose country have relationship with other nations must and should. Must and should. Then dear students, each country will have relationship with other nations in order to fulfill its needs. So here, why each country will have relationship with other nations in order to fulfill its needs? Because in order to fulfill its needs, each and every one country in the world not having sufficient natural resources. Sufficient natural resources. Few countries have sufficient natural resources and few countries have insufficient natural resources. So that is why one country always depending upon for another country. That is why in order to fulfill its needs purpose, we can maintain for the relationship with other countries. Other countries. We need to study about how the countries will have relationships at the international level. So not only a national level we can maintain the relationship. Even out of the India also we can maintain for the relationship. Got it? Then mainly what is the meaning of foreign policy? So before now what we learned, so that is the behind information of the foreign policy. So highly impossible one person interacting with other person to lead a life. It means solely. So as it is like if one country also highly impossible to do for the administration without interacting with another country. So here maintaining of foreign policy and relationship interaction, these three also playing very important role. Then the meaning of foreign policy is the way a country acts, while dealing with other nations is called foreign policy. So one country, got it? Behavior with another country in some situations. got it? ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದೇಶದ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, got it? ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದೇಶದ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ತನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ? ಮೀನ್ಸ್ the way a country acts while dealing with other nations is called foreign policy. Got it? The way a country acts while dealing with other nations is called as foreign policy. Dear students, this is one more very important question. What is the meaning of foreign policy? Then dear students, nowadays foreign policy has become essential for each and every one country. So I already told that what it? One country must and should depending upon another country. So that is foreign policy. Nowadays at present 21st century. Nowadays it means at present 21st century. Foreign policy has become a essential. It means very important to each and every one country of the world. Very essential. It means very important to each and every one country of the world. So out of 200 countries in the world, it means more than 200 countries are there. More than 200 countries are there. So out of 200 countries in the world, very few countries are strong and most of them are weak. Few countries are too strong and few countries are very weak. It means which countries are maintained a foreign policy, so such a countries are strong. Which countries not maintained the foreign policy, so such a countries are very weak. Here look at the picture. Uganda is there. Uganda. Got it? This country not have their own foreign policy. That is why we should consider for the weak. So America, richest country, most powerful country in the world, biggest democratic country also we should consider. So this country have their own foreign policy. That is why this country is most strong based on the foreign policy. Out of the 200 countries of the world, few are strong and most of them are weak. Because of the reason, few countries yet not have their own foreign policy, and few countries have their own foreign policy. Which countries have their own foreign policy? That countries are we should consider most strong. Which countries not have own foreign policy? So such a countries we should consider for the weak. So Uganda weak, America strong. Uganda weak, America strong because of foreign policy. Then dear students, did India have such kind of foreign policy before 1947? Once we have to think, before 1947? No. Because of the reason, before the 1947, India is a colonial country. It means British domination is there upon the Indian country. India not have their own foreign policy before 1947 because Britishers are controlled to India. So that did India have such kind of foreign policy before 1947? No. Why? Why? The reason is very essential. See here, India was not a sovereign country before 1947. It means not have a supreme power, not have a depending country. Sorry, not have a independent. Before the 1947, Britishers are controlled to India. That is why, therefore, it did not have its own foreign policy. But after the 1947, India implementing their own foreign policy. So dear students, did India have such kind of foreign policy, a friendly foreign policy? It means own foreign policy before 1947? No, because of the reason India was not a sovereign country before 1947. Then when India became a sovereign country? August 15th of 1947. So after India maintained their own foreign policy. Then dear students, then what is sovereign country? So already told, before the 1947, India not a sovereign country. Hagadre sovereign andre ಏನು? What is the meaning of sovereign? Then what is sovereign country? Sovereign country is that country which is not under any other country's control, either for internal, either for external issues. Got it? Sovereign country is that country which not under any other country. So before the 1947, India is under the control of British. So that is why before the independence, India not a sovereign country. But after the independence, India not under the any country, whether internal, whether external. What is the meaning of internal? It means inside problems and outside of the problems. In case throughout the Indian country any problems being came into existence, India has possible to take own decisions. Whether external, outside of the Indian country, whether river water, whether border problems, whether any clashes, it means also India possible to take own decisions because India is a sovereign country. So this is the meaning of sovereign. Sovereign country is that country which is not under any other country's control, either for internal, either for external issues or problems. Because India is surrounded by most of the neighboring countries. And see, when did India get independence? Then when India became an independent country. Dear students, we know about that August 15th of 1947. August 15th of 1947. Then what is the benefit for us of getting independence? Is there any benefit to Indians? Yes, 100% is there benefit to Indians. So such a benefits are very important. What is the benefit? Yes, because of independence, we can take the decisions related to our nation on our own. So before the independence, we not have any kind of right to take decision upon our nation or about our nation. But after the independence, we can take own decision. We can take own decision. So this is our own and about for the nation. Because of the reason, India become a independent country. August 15th of 1947. August 15th of 1947. This is the benefit. Because of independence, we can take the decisions related to our nation on our own. That is the power of independence. That is the power of independence. Yes, dear students, here see, if a country is independent, it can take the decisions related to the country on its own. If one country become an independent country means that country 100% possible to take own decisions. So in the same way, it can decide what kind of relationship with other nations in the world. Got it? So that is called foreign policy. So this is you should be keep in our mind. So we can take own decisions because of independence. So as it is, at what kind of relations we can maintain with other nations by utilizing the independence. So that also we should consider for the foreign policy. So dear friends, there is one more question. What is the meaning of foreign policy? Look at the picture, dear friends. India also has its own foreign policy after independence. India also had its own foreign policy after the independence. Before the independence, not. After the independence. Because of the reason, before the independence, India not a sovereign country. After the independence, India became a sovereign country and possible to maintain relationship with Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and such a countries of the world. Few more countries of the world. So India has its own foreign policy after the independence. After the independence. See, India has been considered as one of the major countries of the world. So this is a very important 2 mark or 3 mark question. So how the question is rising means India has been considered as one of the major countries of the world. Justify the statement. Justify the statement. ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶಗಳು got it? ಅಂದರೆ ಇಡೀ ಭೂಮಂಡಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ದೇಶಗಳಿವೆ. ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೂ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶನೂ ಸಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂಥ ದೇಶ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. Justify the statement. Why we should consider India has been one of the major, it means very important country. Dear students, because of its huge population. Second most populous country in the world. First one is China and second one is India. That is why we should consider India has been one of the major country in the world. Second, it means huge population. Second most populous country in the world. What it then? Natural resources. Natural resources. Here mainly see throughout the Indian country, sufficient natural resources are there. Our Indian country, excess of natural resources exporting to another countries like so many countries in the world. So this is also one of the important reason purpose India has been considered one of the major country in the world. Then military. So our Indian military is the best. Our Indian military consists of Army, Navy and Air Force. Army, Navy and Air Force. Got it? Through the sky attack. Through the sky, is there any attacks is there means Got it? Our air force playing very very important role. Through the ocean attack is there means our Indian Navy is playing very very important role. Through the land attack is there means our army is playing very very important role. So our Indian military system also best. That is why India has been considered one of the major countries of the world. Another one, intellectual and industrialist and capabilities. What is the meaning of intellectual? Got it? Most of the people doing a smart work. So that is a intellectual. ತುಂಬ ತುಂಬ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಇಂಟಲೆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್. ದೆನ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್. So many industrial persons also is there. And capabilities. What capability means? Ability. So ability persons also is there. So this was the reason purpose. India has been considered one of the major countries of the world. Once again I am repeating, my dear students, very very important. Got it? So the question is, India has been considered as one of the major countries of the world. Justify the statement. Give reasons. How like? Then you have to write one by one. Option A, huge population. Next, natural resources. Next, military. Next, intellectual power. Industrialists. Capabilities. So these are all the main reasons India has been considered one of the major countries of the world. Then dear students, India is one of the few countries in the world who pursue their own foreign policy. Got it? India is one of the few countries in the world who pursue their own foreign policy. It means carrying. Pursue means carrying, not depending upon for another country. India has been taken decision means not depending upon another country. India making own decisions, own foreign policy. So that is who pursue taking own decisions. India is one of the few countries in the world who pursue their own foreign policy. It means making foreign policy. Why here the foreign policy is very very essential? Because of the reason national interest. Got it? National interest. Here we have to refer one of the important statement. That statement given by Jawaharlal Nehru about foreign policy. About foreign policy and about national interest. So national interest means we need independence and we need supreme power and we need good democracy. So these all including parts of the national interest. These all including the parts of national interest. So a nation should realize that foreign policy is an art of finding the right policy in spite of many policies. So many policies are there throughout the Indian country. Among to that all policies, foreign policy is very very essential. It is very useful to the country. It is very useful to the country. We can speak of good for international community and international peace also. Is there good relationship with other countries means we can speak good. We can take help from other countries during the natural calamities, during the emergencies time, because of the reason foreign policy. Finally, every government considers everything from its own perspective. What it? The foreign policy of a government is based on the long term as well as the short term interest of its own. So no government dares to do harm to its own interests. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಘನತೆಯನ್ನು ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ನಾವೇ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಗೋಟ್ ಇಟ್? ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು, ಸಹಬಾಳ್ವೆಯನ್ನು, ಸ್ನೇಹವನ್ನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೋಟ್ ಇಟ್, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶನೂ ಸಹ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸುಗಮವಾಗಿ ಆಡಳಿತವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಶಾಂತಿಯುತವಾದ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಸಹ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್, the first Prime Minister of our Indian country, Jawaharlal Nehru, said information about foreign policy, the part of national interest. So this was said by Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of our Indian country. Then what including for the national interest? What including for the national interest? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಏಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ? ದೆನ್ ವೈ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ got it? Before one question we have to learn. India has been considered one of the major countries in the world because of huge population, military capabilities, intellectual power, industries, so like. So here then what are the major aims of India's foreign policy? Major aims, major goals, major ambitions of India's foreign policy. Let's see one by one. National security. National security. What is the meaning of here? National security. What it? The safety of the nation is very, very important. The safety of the nation, because India is surrounded by few neighboring countries. We can maintaining good relationship with that countries means what it? Possible to lead a life without fear. In case we can maintaining harmed relationship with that countries means there is no security to our nation. Always clashes, always invasions, always attacks are possible. So that is why the first major aim of India's foreign policy, we need a protect to our nation. That is why we can maintain best foreign policy with other countries. So that is a national security. That is a national security. And second one, enriching national economy. So throughout the world, countries are dividing developed countries, developing countries, backward countries. Developed countries, developing countries, backward countries. So here, enriching national economy. What is the meaning of enriching national economies? To make country rich. To make country rich. ಒಂದು ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಹಾದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಗಿಸಬೇಕು, ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಪ್ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಎನ್ರಿಚಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ. Then third one, spreading the cultural richness of our country in other countries. What is the cultural richness? You know, like the Indian music, Indian art, Indian architecture, Indian tradition. What? So these entire customs, traditions following so many nations, following by so many nations because of the reason foreign policy. Because of the reason foreign policy. So nowadays in India, how like the common man worshipping upon the God, especially in the temples. So such a kind of method, few countries of the world following because of the reason foreign policy. So like that, spreading the cultural richness of our country in other countries. This is the third important aim of India's foreign policy. Then the fourth one, by increasing the number of friendly countries and check the power of enemy countries. So we can maintain a good relationship with other countries means we can increasing friendly nations. What it? And check the power of enemy countries. What it? ಶತ್ರು ದೇಶಗಳು ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವರ ವೆಪನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ, ಅವರ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ, ಅವರ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೋದು. So that is why here the foreign policy is very very essential. Got it? By increasing the number of friendly countries and check the power of enemy countries purpose, we can maintain the foreign policy. So this is the fourth major aim or ambition. And the fifth one, achieving world peace and coexistence. Got it? Throughout the world, implementing of the non-violence but not for the violence. This is possible through the foreign policy. So all the countries maintained a good relationship with other countries means, so 100% possible we can implement peace throughout the world. 100% possible we can implement peace throughout the world. So that is why achieving world peace and coexistence relationship between the countries. This is possible through the foreign policy. So this is the fifth ambition, fifth aim, fifth goal of the India's major foreign policy. So like dear students, in this way, very essential role playing by India to implementation of the foreign policy. So behind that, major aims, major ambitions, major goals are there. So such a important ambitions are national security, enriching national economy, spreading the cultural richness of our country in other countries by increasing the number of friendly countries and check the power of enemy countries, achieving world peace and coexistence. So these are all the reasons purpose foreign policy is very essential. So this is the 3 mark question. What are the major aims of India's foreign policy? You have to list out one by one. Total these 5 points. And dear students, the major aims of foreign policy, do you know like that? Through the radio speech, September 7, 1946. September of 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru outlined, it means described radio speech alli, Jawaharlal Nehru 7th September 1946 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಜನರಲ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ 7th 1946. Jawaharlal Nehru outlined the foreign policy of India for the first time to the general public. For the first time of the general public. So the speech gave an indication of the foreign relationship it is India going to foster with countries like America, Russia and China. Through the foreign policy, India has been maintaining good relationship with America, Russia, China. So this was outlined by Jawaharlal Nehru 7th September of 1946 about India's foreign policy. Our foreign policy is influenced by many things. Our foreign policy is influenced by many things. So such many things are national interest. What it? ನಮ್ಮ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಅಂಶಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರಭಾವಿತ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎ 2 or 3 mark question. Got it? List out the influence factors of our Indian foreign policy. List out the influence factors of our Indian foreign policy. The first one is the national interest. National interest consists of democracy, independence, sovereignty. We need good democracy system. We need good sovereign system. That is why foreign policy is very essential. And geographical interest. Geographical interest. Do you know like that? Geographical interest, north, south, west, east. Got it? And we can protect for our geographical interest. It means hill stations, rivers, lakes, etc. So we need foreign policy. Political situation. We can making good administration, implementing of certain rules and regulation, implementing of certain laws. These are all the reasons purpose we need a foreign policy. And economic interest. We can maintain a good trade relationship with other countries means we need a foreign policy. So that is the economic interest, import and export. Then military issues. If any countries attack to our country, got it? In case we can maintaining relationship with other countries means so such a countries are help to us. That credit goes to foreign policy. So that is a military issues like aircrafts, weapons, jet, etc. Import and export purpose we need a foreign policy. Public opinion. So always public they expressing their views about democracy, about administration, about policies. So this is possible through the foreign policy. And international situation, involvement between the countries. Involvement between the countries. We can take own decisions. So these are all the reasons purpose we need a foreign policy. So these are the influence factors of India's foreign policy. So this is a 2 or 3 mark question. List out the influence factors of India's foreign policy means national interest, geographical interest, political situation, economic interest, military issues, public opinion, and international situation. This is very, very important. And dear students, in this foreign policy consists of some of the important basic aspects, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಫೈವ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾನ್ ಅಲೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. Then after Panchashila principles, anti-imperialism, apartheid policy, disarmament. So these are the five basic aspects. The first one is Panchashila principles, second one is non-alignment policy, third one is anti-imperialism, fourth one anti-apartheid, fifth one is disarmament. So this we can learn in the next session one by one. Dear students, this is Chandrasekhar, social science teacher, BGS Public School, Shidlaghatta. Thank you.